I'm pretty open for and vulnerable for how much I've been through. But yeah, just, no one likes to wake up to that. So it sucks, but it's worth it.
Yeah. Are you still estranged from your dad? Are you?
No, we've all, I think timing is everything. There's been enough bridges now of time to get us all reconnected. And I think for me, as I've gotten older, respecting my parents as individuals instead of as parents, again, because it's honest, my mom's really loved my dad for her whole life. And I think being married to someone in the music industry and not being a part of it is obviously really hard. And so I think I took on some of my mom's hurt as my own, because it hurt her kind of more than it hurt me as an adult. And so I owned a lot of her pain as mine. But now that my mom is like so in love with my stepdad, Dom, who I completely adore. And now that my dad, I see him finding happiness outside of that too. I can love them both as individuals instead of as a kind of, a parental pairing. I'm being an adult about it. At first it's hard because the little kid in you reacts before the adult in you can go, yes, that's your dad, but that's just another person that deserves to be in his bliss and to be happy. So my adult self has caught up. My child self has caught up.
You've talked some about therapy, and it's just something I just wanted to ask you because you've discussed doing EMDR, and I did EMDR.
Love it. Saved my life.
And I'm just wondering about that, what it did for you, how it helped you, because it's a very specific type of therapy that really is to do with trauma.
You're going to get me. That's sweet. The tag on my tee said, take a moment just for you. So I got to answer this question, but it's for me. The first thing that happened was I was guided to seat myself on a train. Did you do it this way where you watch it pass you by? And it's so weird because it's like watching a movie in your mind, but it's different than dreaming. You're kind of more in yourself, but still in another place of consciousness that's really hard to describe unless you've been in that hypnotic state. And like I see myself sit down on the train and he says, just watch your movie. Watch your life like a movie and watch it pass you by through the windows. And I see all these times just like, just like frames of these moments, like a film. And he goes, what's the feeling of anxiety that comes up for you when you're performing? And I never even thought about it before, but in my hypnotic place said, I just want them to love me so bad. And he said, when was the first time you felt that way? And then suddenly the train stopped moving forward and it started going backwards. And I saw myself, it sounds so trippy, but this is medical. This is real.
It is real. I've done it.
It's real. I saw myself in the womb of my biological grandmother because my mom was adopted. And I heard my mom's biological parents talking about putting her up for adoption. And I felt myself being inside of her womb as my mother, hearing them speaking about giving her away. And my mom thinking, I just want them to want me. I want them to love me so bad. And then when's the next time you felt that way? Fast forward, I see my mom being handed to my grandmother who adopted her, who's my everything, Loretta. That's my mammy. She was the one that did the meet and greets. So handing to her. And then just like that, I see myself being handed to my grandmother too as a baby. So I realized because my mom had a really intense, very dangerous pregnancy with me. So I wasn't actually handed to my mom. I was handed to my grandma. So I saw myself being handed to the same woman that my mom was handed to. And I felt our unison right away. And he's like, keep going, keep going. And I found myself on a mountaintop in a place that I had experienced a lot of like trauma in the snow in Montana. It was just like a moment that it was just a really intense kind of like, I guess just being surrounded by nature, it really puts you in your place. And I saw myself there as a little girl in a coat that I used to love, this like little red coat with a red beret. And I saw all these people that had brought me so much peace and love all of a sudden show up. So my dog that died a couple years ago, my grandma, my mom, it'll get me, my boyfriend that I have now, and they all grabbed me by the hands when we started playing Ring Around the Rosie. And I came out of it and I've never had stage fright again. Ever.
Wow.
I don't have stage fright anymore. Now, I did more sessions because there was so much more under that. But I think the thing that I had of I want them to love me so bad, it wasn't mine, it was my mom's. And I think maybe it pained me for her to carry it, so I've been carrying it for her. I do that sometimes, so that's something I'm working on.